Shalom, shalom. Most High in Christ bless. It's your brother Captain Messiah with another Wednesday night heat. And of course, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. And all that means is all praise is due to the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly refers to as Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. So yeah, we want to welcome every one of you. Hope everyone is, feeling good. Hope everyone, even if you're not feeling good, even if you're not feeling your best, that's all right. We here, we coming together, we having these discussions, these well needed, much needed discussions, so that we can work on self-improvement. We can work on ourselves. We can, do the personal development that needs to be done so we can, be a better version of ourselves, because that's what we're aiming to do. Yes, we're aiming to be a better version of ourselves. So we're going to just get straight into it, family. Want to welcome my TOC family. What up, what up, what up? Shalom to you. Most High in Christ bless. Want to welcome, even if you're not TOC family, don't matter if you're a part of another school. Want to welcome you. It doesn't matter if you're not a part of a school and you're thinking about joining a school. And, just want to say shalom to you as well. So, we about to get into it. So, like the title suggests, the real reason relationships are toxic. Again, the real reason relationships are toxic. Now, I don't know if y'all know anything about toxicity. Maybe that's a new term to some persons. Maybe that's a new, terminology or language or jargon to some people. But it's not really a new jargon. Okay, toxicity is something that has today in 2022 developed a culture. So now there's a culture of toxicity that has now been normalized. And we speak about it from time and time again, but I don't think it gets called out enough. Again, I don't think it gets called out enough. So it's essential, it's important, it's imperative that we have classes and topics and discussions and dialogues such as these to really explore, the whole toxic culture. Because remember, in the world, when you're in the world, being a Negro in the world, being a Negro in paradise, these cultures that are normalized, it's almost like you have no idea that this is a thing. You've been living like this for such a long time that you don't even realize that this is a thing. So toxic culture, it is a thing. Let me let you know now. It's something that it gets, perpetrated, in relationships, on the workplace, in families, in the home, marriages, friendships, you name it. Every facet of life, you can find what dwelling, you can find toxicity there. You understand that? But it's important to identify what these toxic traits are. It's very important. You understand that? I want to say shalom to everyone in the comment section. Most High in Christ bless you. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Again, if you haven't done so already, do so now. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a lot of topics like these, as well as different types of topics to engage dialogue. But not only that, we want to learn. We want to be able to learn, all right, and be better versions of ourselves. You understand that? So I hope this don't feel like class or school or, we're just having a dialogue. But in this dialogue, we're going to learn. You understand? The best way to learn is to, when you're learning, you don't even feel like you're learning. You understand? You can walk away with something. You can glean something from that, and you can apply it to life and be successful. Yes, all praises. So, identifying toxicity, toxic traits. You understand? Let me just share my screen really quickly. Let me share my screen really quickly. Because we got to know. We got to know. The people want to know. The people want to know what exactly is toxicity, man. If you've never heard about that term before, you know, that jargon, that terminology, that language before, the people want to know what exactly is this referring to. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, good. So now we got to know what are personality traits. Again, we got to know what are personality traits. Because every person that you're going to meet or come into contact with, they're going to have different personality traits, be it good or be it bad, be it positive or be it negative personality traits. Now, it says a personality trait is a characteristic that influences how a person thinks, feels, and acts. It's a part of who they are. You understand that? So it's a part of who that person is. That's what makes up their personality traits. Now, personality traits make up a person. For example, a person's level of introversion or extroversion is a trait. Now, introversion meaning that person is a very internal, calculated person. And extroversion meaning that person is very outwardly. They express itself in in an outward manner. Whereas an introvert, no, they have lack of expression. It's more so calculated internally, right? So now, just moving along really quickly. Now, it says while they usually stay the same, traits can change over time due to factors like experiences, belief systems, major life stages. So now, as it pertains to relationships, because traits change over time, the person who you may know now, who you're in the puppy love stage with now, who you think is just the best thing since sliced bread now, their traits can actually change over time. And like it says here, due to things like experiences, meaning the things that they go through. You know, you go through some stuff, it's going to change you. Let's just be real. When you go through some stuff, it changes you either for the better or for the worse. Belief systems, meaning like your beliefs, your ideologies, the things you stand for, your morals. Those things can change over time, right? And major life stages, you know, getting married, having a baby, having the new responsibility of caring for another person, having a house, having different responsibilities that you have to take care of every month. You know, so those are factors. Like it says, it could change a person over time. You understand? Let's just scroll down really quickly. Now, to be more specific, it says when people talk about toxic traits, they aren't usually talking about traits of a person. The term instead refers to a person's behavior. Behaviors can be characterized as healthy or unhealthy. All right. So, unhealthy or toxic behaviors include selfishness. So, this is how you could identify if you're dealing with a toxic person or a toxic person with toxic behaviors. Selfishness, it's a red flag right there. Hostility, someone who always flying off the handle almost immediately. Almost immediately. As a matter of fact, the Bible says, be slow to anger. Be slow to anger. And then manipulation. how does manipulation play a part in being an unhealthy or toxic behavior? Because usually, what should happen is when someone um, displays negative behavior, what should happen is they take accountability for their actions. But then there are certain persons who manipulate situations whereby they don't take accountability for their actions and they now flip it around, and somehow, even though you're the one who's been done wrong, right? They flip it around and they point it in your direction now, that you're the cause of it, right? So manipulation is one of those toxic behavior traits. You understand that? So now this is going to show you 25 examples of toxic traits. Now pay attention, pay close attention. You may know persons with these traits. You may be that one with that trait. Here's a bit of advice. Don't so quickly look to see if these 25 traits that we're going to go over are traits that you can find in someone else per se. Look within yourself first and foremost and really see if you exhibit any of these traits before you try going to find these traits in others. Because that's actually one of the traits as well. Trying to find flaws in everyone else except yourself. So look within first before when we go over these 25 toxic traits, look within first to see if you exhibit any of these behaviors. All right. So 25 examples of toxic traits. Let's get straight into it. Number one, negativity. A person with negativity may see the world as cold, cruel, and evil. Now, some people may say, well, I'm just a realist. I'm just being real. I'm real. Now, there's a difference from being real and being a realist and just being negative all the time. You understand that? Everything is just negative, 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 right? So they may frequently complain. Nobody likes to be around somebody who just complains all the time. Ruin the fun, they dampen people's spirits, like they're a Debbie Downer. They're always dampening people's spirits, right? With a defeatist comment and actions. Defeatist meaning that, let's say a suggestion is made. They quickly reply with, "Oh no, that can't be done. That's impossible." Before looking at ways we can actually accomplish this thing. You understand that? Number two, judgmentalness. A person who is judgmental may judge situations, people, or events without experience. So if you're judging things now, the Bible says you can judge. For those of you who didn't know, the Bible says you can judge. It says to judge righteous judgment. Let me pull that up real quick. Um, Let me pull that up for y'all who not familiar with that. For those Christians who love saying, God said don't judge. God said don't judge. Ain't no scripture saying don't judge, man. You understand? Matthew 7:1 isn't talking about not judging. It's talking about not judging someone according to the law if you breaking the law yourself. That's what Matthew 7:1 is talking about. Um, John 7:24. Let's get that. Watch this. John 7 and verse 24. And y'all can let me know if my screen size is big enough for y'all to see. Y'all can see this clearly, right? Let me know if y'all can see this clearly. John 7:24 says, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So what does it mean to judge righteous judgment? It means that you can judge. The Most High gave us the ability and the authority to judge, but judging things according to the law. That's why Matthew 7:1 says, don't judge lest ye be judged. You understand that? Because what measure you're going to judge with is going to be judged right back to you in the same manner. You understand that? Matthew 7 and verse 1. For some reason, this isn't coming up. Oh, okay, good. It says, "Judge not that ye be judged, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged." It's not saying don't judge. It's saying don't judge according to the law if you break in the law. Watch this. For what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. So if you gonna judge somebody and tell them that they're breaking the law, that they're committing a sin against the Most High God, but you doing it, watch this. It says, "What measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again." Meaning that if you're gonna point out to somebody that they breaking the law, and but you breaking it, just know that it's gonna be pointed out to you the same way. Watch this. Verse 3. "And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye?" So not tell nobody that they're doing something wrong when you are doing the same thing or even worse. That's what that's talking about. You understand that? Good. So now going back to toxicity, toxic traits. Toxic traits. Where we at? Y'all can see this properly, right? Let me know if y'all can see this properly. Did I say property? No, I said properly. Properly. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, so number 3, dishonesty. Now, this is a major one right here. People with this trait, you got to be very wary of them. Dishonesty. A person who displays dishonesty may lie or mislead others. The act of lying is a choice, but dishonesty is a tendency to lie. Wow. Many people use dishonesty as a coping mechanism. And, if you're seeing this trait early, early on in the relationship, just know it never gets better. It actually gets worse. If you notice lies in the start of the relationship, it's not going to get better, family. Got bad news for you. I'm sorry. It's not going to get better. Unless, that individual gets personal help. That's the only way it's going to somehow get better. That person has to accept and get personal help. A couple other things they said here. Rigidness, rudeness. Now, this is one right here. Rudeness. A person who displays rude behavior may speak or act without manners that most people would define as culturally appropriate. For example, someone may talk to a server without saying please or thank you, right? This one right here, number 6, a lack of empathy for others. A lack of empathy. Now watch this. A person who lacks empathy for others may struggle to understand other people's feelings and thoughts. Because if someone can't understand your feelings and your thoughts and where you're coming from, and they lack empathy, they won't be able to familiarize with you, and therefore they would be void of any sort of feeling or connection. You understand that? It says, for example, a leader that lacks empathy may not notice that one of their employees is struggling to complete work because they are tired. You understand that? Cynicism, that means a person who displays cynicism may think that interests and goals motivate people to the detriment of others. For example, a cynical person may assume that a polite server was only friendly for a good tip. So, cynics, they only think that people display good traits because they want something. And they don't think people are genuinely good just to be good for the sake of being good. You understand that is a toxic trait as well. Now, recklessness, a person who is reckless may not consider the danger their actions place upon themselves or others. Now, this is a major one right here. If you with someone who reckless, understand this. They're not going to understand the way that they place themselves in danger or place you in danger. For example, someone with recklessness may encourage you to undertake a dangerous activity, like breaking the Sabbath, like not keeping the high holy days, like Let's not worry about keeping God's commandments. Let's not worry about anything that leadership said. We don't have to worry about none of that because let's take the risk. All right. This is I'm trying to show you something. Early signs for toxicity is going to lead to the relationship just deteriorating more and more and more. You understand that? Pickiness. And let me read this one. It says pickiness. A person who is picky a person who is picky may struggle in situations that are new, outside their comfort zone, or don't match their standards. For example, a picky eater may refuse to eat a meal you cook for them because they haven't tried a key ingredient before. Now, there's some people also who they're picky over so many things, and picky over the wrong things, and picky just for the sake of being picky, and just always have a problem with everything, right? That also is a toxicity trait as well, a toxic trait. You understand that? That overly picky person, it's a toxic trait. Now, when you get into a relationship with someone who overly picky, is going to drive you insane, literally drive you insane. You understand that? Argumentativeness. It says a person who is argumentative may get joy or pleasure from starting arguments. For example, a person may look for flaws in a family member's idea and attempt to rile them into a fight. Now, it says not all conflict is bad, but being argumentative for the sake of arguing can be mental. Quick to anger, as we already know, persons who are ready to just fly off the handle immediately. Now watch this. He says a person who is quick to anger may become upset due to a trigger that would offend most people. For example, a colleague may get angry quickly and struggle to calm themselves down. And you got bossiness, self-centeredness, arrogance, greediness. This one right there. A person who is greedy may take more than they need at the detriment of others. So when you see this trait coming out where somebody is greedy, just understand it's a toxic trait. Greed is a toxic trait. And the Bible speaks about greed as well, right? That's actually against the commandments to be greedy. You understand? So now it says, for example, a friend with greediness may eat a slice of cake you saved for a friend who missed the cake cutting. They're going to plot out and wait and stake, and they're going to ask you, so you're going to eat that? Is that for somebody? That's greed, even though they had already. You understand that? It says at the detriment of others. Like when they're in that greedy zone, they don't care about else. And even in relationship, if you're with someone who has that toxic trait, it can filter over into other things. You understand that? It can filter over into that person just being consumed with their wants, not needs, but their wants at the detriment of the other person in the relationship. So you got to look for these toxic traits that come in other ways in your relationship with this individual. It spills over, right? It spills over into toxicity in the relationship in different ways. Okay, stinginess. For if y'all with anybody that's stingy, it says a person who is stingy. No, stinginess is basically, being very. It says stingy. It's like you hold him back. You holding out or you holding back. A person who is stingy may refuse to share their time, possessions, or money. They do this even when someone else deserves it. For example, a stingy family member may refuse to pay their part of the restaurant bill. Come with, oh, well, I have things to pay for, or we all have things to pay for. But when you see someone is very stingy and you're in a relationship with a stingy person, over in relationship, because now that's a toxic trait that they have that's going to manifest in different ways. So, sneakiness, that's a big one. Sneakiness. A person who is sneaky may conceal their actions and words from others for personal benefit. For example, a colleague may sabotage your work by neglecting to pass on crucial instruction from your manager. All right, so always look out for that sneakiness. Now, thoughtlessness. A person who is thoughtless may not consider how their actions or words may impact others. That's a big one right there. Disruptiveness, conflict avoidance. This is a big one right here. A person who struggles to a person who struggles with conflict avoidance may have a hard time talking to others because they're afraid of upsetting people. For example, a conflict avoidant friend may allow another friend to insult them out of fear of an argument. Impulsiveness. A person who is impulsive may make rash decisions based on emotion. So, if you're with a person who is very impulsive, they're going to make a lot of decisions just based off of how they're feeling at the time. Just very, spur of the moment, emotionally based impulsiveness. For example, an impulsive friend may spend too much money because they lack emotional regulation skills. The next one is laziness. Ooh, y'all didn't know laziness was a toxic trait? It is. Now it says laziness, and the Bible speaks about laziness, that you should not be a sluggard. You understand that? Don't be a sluggard. Now it says laziness. A person who is lazy may struggle to finish tasks because they lack inspiration, motivation, and drive. For example, an employee may avoid completing their tasks because they don't want to. And this is just the same thing in the truth. You got a lot of lazy persons in the truth who don't want to study. No, ladies and men, if you have, a husband or a wife that's supposedly in the truth, but they don't study because they're lazy and they don't put in the work for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai because they're lazy and they don't, go over the scriptures because they're lazy. Understand, they're not going to be the husband or wife that you need them to be. Just understand that straight up and down. They're not going to be. You understand? So number 23, apathetic, meaning a person with apathy may struggle to care about things, goals, or people. Right. Number 24, lack of self-awareness. Number 25 is absolutism. That number one, the number 24 right there, that one is like, to me, one of the number one things when it comes to toxic traits with red flags. It says a person who lacks self-awareness may struggle to reflect on their thoughts, actions, and words. Like someone who is not cognizant of their own thoughts, actions, and words, to me, that is literally the blueprint for a narcissist. For example, a toxic friend who isn't self aware may not understand why they have not reached a goal despite sabotaging their own efforts. And then take it a step further. Persons with this toxic trait, when they sabotage others, when someone brings it to their attention, they do not understand why this person feels this way. Even though they're the one that they know they sabotage this person, they know that they've been doing whatever to sabotage this person behind the scenes, right? If you're with a person that you know for a fact be sabotaging people behind the scenes, I'm gonna let you know something now. Your own relationship with that person is not gonna fare well. I'm gonna let you know now. Because now that's gonna spill over into y'all's relationship. And if you are aware that this person sabotages people behind the scenes, then you should tell them to stop it. If you claim that you love this person, if you claim you're married to this person and in a relationship with this person and you're committed to this person, if you're claiming all these things and you claim this person as your own, right? To have become one. And you know this person does things like this behind the scenes. You know they be sabotaging people. And you don't speak and say anything and say, don't do that. Stop doing that. That means you hate your brother, you hate your sister. Leviticus 19 and verse 17. You understand that? You hate your brother, you hate your sister. The last one is absolutism. A person with absolutism may view situations, people, or the world through a binary like good or bad. For example, an absolutist friend may see another friend as bad because they upset them, despite the friend apologizing. You understand that? So, we just went over some things to get your mind in a frame or a trajectory that could really pinpoint what toxicity traits really are. You understand that? Now, what we're going to get into now is a little bit more specific, a little bit more specific, a little bit more specific. When it comes to actual relationships now, actual marriages now, right? We're going to look at 11 things that toxic partners often say, right? 11 things that toxic partners often say. So we already looked at what are toxic traits, right? Now watch this. 11 things that toxic partners, toxic people in relationships say. All right. So let me share my screen. Be sure to share this because I'm pretty sure you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody who's either in a toxic relationship right now or, guess what? You don't have to be in a toxic relationship to be aware of this because you may not start off in a toxic relationship, but then this is where your relationship is headed. Because remember, relationships don't start off they don't usually start off being toxic. They start off very, in a puppy love. We so in love and we going to the beach together. We're going here and we going there. And it's just all just flowers and candy. And, it's just so beautiful. That song come on. La, 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 do, 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 do. Right? So you hearing that song playing while you having this puppy love and you're in this puppy love stage. You're not thinking about down the road, down the street, around the corner that toxic ways are coming to invade this relationship, right? Now, this is 11 things, all right? 11 things that toxic partners say. Now, let me just give you the prelude. Okay, so it says, take a look at these red flags that you need to watch out for to try and grasp the dysfunctional mechanism in place. The toxic things in a relationship are easier to identify and rectify if you start looking in the right places. Now, this is 11 things toxic partners often say and why. All right. Now, if you've ever heard your partner say something hurtful and instinctively felt it to be wrong, and you probably couldn't put a finger on it and let it slide, right? Now, something was definitely off or amiss. The tone, the words, the implication, or the intent. So now this article basically shows 11 things that toxic partners say, right? So that you could quickly peruse this list, so you could know why your significant other's words might have pinched you in a certain way. All right. So, number one, I'm pretty sure y'all hear this a lot, right? Either from persons that you've seen in a movie, television, even your own relationship. Number one, look what you made me do. Wow. See that? So Dr. Barnsley explains when an individual is unwilling to assume responsibility for their actions, I don't want everybody to understand that you're responsible for your own actions. You understand that? So ain't no look what you make me do, ain't none of that. That's toxic behavior right there. Look what you made me do it. How many times you've heard that? Oh, you made me do it. Right? So they usually peg it on their partner. They flip it on their partner. Statements like, "Oh, you made me cheat on you." Right? My meeting went badly because you did this. You're problematic. So if something goes wrong in any sphere of the toxic person's life, they will always find a way to make it about your shortcomings. So blame shifting is one of the worst things toxic partners do. Blame shift. You've heard us mention this before, right? They blame shift. You understand that? The Bible said, "Don't bear false witness against one another." Do not bear false witness. Accept the responsibility for your own actions and stop blame shifting. Stop blame shifting. You understand that? Okay, good. Number two, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. How many times you've heard that? I can't do this anymore. I'm done. So, issuing ultimatums or threats are not characteristics of a healthy relationship. Again, issuing an ultimatum or a threat is not a characteristic of a healthy relationship or a healthy person. Now, they instill fear in you that your partner will leave at the slightest hint of trouble. Such phrases strive to convey, if you don't do everything right, I will leave you. You catch the point? This is the stuff fear of abandonment is made of. And with time, you'll be walking on eggshells around your partner in order to prevent disappointing them. You see that? So, if you with somebody that has used that line before, "Oh, I can't do this anymore, I'm done," understand that's a toxic thing that your partner is saying. All right. Let's come down to number three. Things that toxic partners say. They say you're overreacting. You're overreacting. Right. So this is it falls on the gaslighting. If you don't know what gaslighting is, now basically your emotional needs or concerns are invalidated. They're invalid. So your partner is unwilling to conduct an investigation into your complaint. They're not concerned with why you might be feeling that way. They're not concerned with why you felt this way, how this made you feel. They're not concerned about none of that. They will just tell you, listen, you're overreacting. Now, it says you have to deal with it on your own because it's too trivial for them. When you're constantly subjected to such manipulation, now understand this, it is a form of manipulation. Again, when your partner says to you, you're overreacting about something that clearly warrants that type of reaction, and they tell you you're overreacting, it's a form of manipulation. Yeah. To the men who listening right now, I know you might be feeling a little triggered right now. I know you might be feeling a certain way right now, but it's something that men often do a lot. They manipulate the situation, especially because we're aware that the woman is a weaker vessel. So men, we tend to say, we do something that warrants the overreaction. And then we're like, well, you're overreacting. Of course she's overreacting because you're doing something that warrants that reaction. But then you're trying to manipulate the situation by telling her you're overreacting. You see what I'm saying? So that is a toxic trait that a lot of men are guilty of. Now, this makes the person who is being manipulated start to second guess their own perceptions, right? So, such is the power of things toxic partners say. Now, very subtle gaslighting phrases, if they're not nipped in the bud, they can morph into full fledged manipulation. They'll end up making you lose confidence in yourself. Again, when things like gaslighting phrases like, you're overreacting, or, something that's warranting a certain reaction, they're telling you, just take it easy, just take it easy, just take it easy. That can actually morph into now full fledged manipulation. You understand that? Now, self doubt can be extremely detrimental to a person's mental space. So, the next time you hear such utterances, along with things like, you're too sensitive, that ain't no big deal, man, you can't take a joke, or man, just get over it. Be sure to, assert yourself, put your foot down, and don't accept those types of gaslighting phrases. We men, we got to do better. Men do this very, very often. You understand that? Number four, should you be saying that? This is fairly a harmless question, right? If asked with the intention of expressing concern, yes. But if asked in an attempt to censor your conduct, then no. Okay, the question suggests that the listener should refrain from continuing an activity. Any relationship that does not give you the space to exercise choice is toxic. So the need to control one's partner or regulate their behavior is deeply unhealthy. And ending a controlling relationship becomes very difficult. Number five, now we're moving right along. For those of you that just joined us, I want to say welcome. We're going over essentially the real reason relationships are toxic. We're going over 11 things that toxic partners say, right? We're on the fifth one. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. All right. We'd like to hear from you as well. Tap in, tap into the comments. If you've been with someone who is manipulative, used to be manipulative, but they've changed, you're currently in a toxic relationship right now, tell us some of your experiences. And we'll, when we bring out the scriptures, you'll see how you could really identify these things for what it is. For what it is. So we are on 11 things that toxic partners say. The fifth one is, you always do this. So all of the things toxic partners say, this is the most dangerous that Dr. Bonsley says. Generalizations make the person on the receiving end feel stupid or incompetent. Their mistakes are the end all and be all for their partner. You always do XYZ. You never do XYZ. Are gross exaggerations that are designed to make the other person feel bad about themselves. See, when you're dealing with someone who is of a toxic nature and has toxic traits, the ultimate goal is to make you feel so shitty about yourself, to make you feel so bad about yourself, right? So that your self-esteem goes all the way down. Because once your self-esteem goes all the way down, you're mentally suffering. So your self-esteem suffers when someone constantly tells you how you never operate efficiently. You understand? And women do it too. Women do it to men as well. So don't feel as though this is just something that men do to women exclusively. Women do it all the time as well. You understand? Good. So now it's just to make you feel very insecure, Because when you're in a place of insecurity, right? Now you're on the verge of also becoming toxic yourself. Because insecurities lead to toxicity. You understand that? Ooh. I was going to save that for later, but it came out. But nonetheless, so if it is actively contributing to dismantling your self worth and making you feel very insecure, you have some serious thinking to do. So, after all, why does your partner want to make you feel poorly about yourself? It's because they want you to rely on them for most things. You catch the point? Because once they could make you rely on them for most things, they know you're trapped. You're in a vicious cycle and that you can't leave. So that their goal is to diminish you mentally, diminish you with your insecurities, and make you feel so low and feel so degraded about yourself, feel so poorly about yourself, right? That you have to rely on them for most things. And they figure they got you in that trap. No, they got you in that proverbial trick bag where you ain't going nowhere. You're going to stay right here. You understand that? To suffer more toxicity. You understand that? Okay, good. Where we at? Number 6. They say things like, you're just like your father, you're just like your mother, right? Things that toxic, quote unquote, girlfriends say, or wives, right? If this is thrown in your face during a fight, walk out the room. Again, if this is thrown in your face during an argument or a fight, walk out of the room. You understand that? Because now your partner is trying to point out how you're doomed to repeat the same mistakes that your parents made. Even if you're emulating a trait that your parents possess, it's not something that should be used as a weapon in a fight. So some people, they weaponize that thing. They weaponize you're a trait that is identifiable in your family, and they weaponize it, right? So what's their purpose of bringing it up? Because this statement will pinch you a little bit more if you share a strained bond with your parents. A close friend once said, I'm in such an emotionally exhausting relationship. She keeps comparing me to my father, although I've repeatedly told her that it's a trigger for me. I don't know what to do anymore. So this is someone just repeating or going over something that happened in their relationship, right? Now it says, do you really want to be with someone who knows the chinks in your armor and exploits them? No, nothing is wrong with knowing the chinks in your partner's armor. Okay? But to exploit them, no, you're not supposed. Listen, if you're going to be fortunate enough or have the opportunity to know where the chinks are in your partner's armor, you're supposed to cover them, not exploit them. You understand that? Good. Number 7. Why can't you do anything right? Wow. So when you hear often from toxic couples, why can't you do anything right? Right? It's also indicative of a lack of empathy between partners. Wow. Woo. Woo. Wow. Look at that. Number 8. If you really cared about me, you'd do XYZ. Now, what are a few subtle things that toxic partners say? They test your love and ask you to prove it. In reality, this means of getting what they want. It's a form of manipulation, but they will portray things very differently. For instance, a guy tells his woman, "You don't want to go out and meet your friends if you don't really love me. All right, you won't go out and meet your friends if you don't really love me. I need you by my side all the time. Don't go nowhere. Stay by my side. Don't be with the other sisters. Don't link up with the sisters." Right now, outwardly, he's making this an issue of priorities. She ought to put it to him first because they're together. It says dating here, but there ain't no dating in the Bible. But we all know that's not what it's about. So there's a huge difference between selfless and selfish love. You understand that? Number 9. Why aren't you more like XYZ? Now they say it's always inadvisable to play the comparison game. Your partner shouldn't ask you to be more like anyone. You understand that? There shouldn't be a yardstick to which they want you to adhere. They're with you for the person that you are. You understand that? So a few classic things that people say include you should dress more like this person. Why can't you try to be as easygoing as this person is? You understand that? So be wary of the toxic things that partners say that pass off as casual remarks because they will infringe upon your individuality. You understand that? Number 10, what do toxic partners say? You make it so difficult to love you. Wow. So if your partner's saying that, understand that's something that's very hurtful. You understand? So if they say things like, you're so difficult to be with, being with you is not an easy job, right? Is very cruel to make someone feel as though they're unlovable. When such things are said every day, you begin believing that you're not worthy of love, that your partner is obliging you by being with you. You understand? So, um, number 11, radio silence, right? What do toxic partners say? Nothing. They often choose silence as a tool to punish you. Mm. So if you with anybody that uses silence in a punishing way, just understand it's a toxic trait, and that person needs help. They need to learn how to communicate. Let me tell you something. When it comes to radio silence, and that's just a classic term that they use, radio silence. People use silence as a form to I'm not going to speak to this person because I want to punish this person. I'm not going to speak to this person for 3 days because I want them to know how bad they upset me, right? I want them to know how bad they messed up, right? So now it's very damaging, very very damaging. It says when someone uses passive aggression and silence to withdraw affection, right? You're going to be sitting in a pool of anxiety, waiting for them to come around and talk to you. Refusing to communicate is unwise, and it's one of the toxic things partners do. Okay, so you got to learn how to communicate. You understand that? Not toxic silence. Any of you doing that? Women do it too. That silent treatment. You understand? You got to communicate. You got to hash it out, talk it out, communicate. You understand that? Communicate. Good. So, how many of the boxes that y'all checked within yourselves? Hmm? How many of the boxes y'all checked within yourselves? So that was 11 things that toxic partners say. You understand? Now, what we got here? Um, we're gonna watch something really quickly, and we're gonna see if y'all could identify. Again, we're gonna watch something, and we're gonna see if y'all could identify any of the toxic traits that come out. If you notice any of the toxic traits that we spoke about just now, put it in the comment section. All right. If you notice any of the toxic traits. So we're gonna watch something really quickly. All right. Let me know if y'all can see this.
Always this way.
Okay, good. Y'all can see this, right? Good.
I wasn't always this broken girl. There was a time that I was happy.
Here, let me put up my disclaimer really quickly because you know we don't want to get no copywritten. You understand that? We don't want to get copywritten. So good.
That I was going to church. I loved God.
So again, let me see if y'all could notice any of the toxic traits that we mentioned. If you do, put it in the comment section.
I loved serving Him. Jesus was my everything. He was my world. And then I met Him. swear to God. I swear.
Now, y'all may have to turn up y'all volumes. Y'all may have to turn up y'all volumes to hear it. The volume on this particular clip isn't all that loud, so you may have to turn up the volume. All right. All praises. So wait, y'all can't hear it. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Babe, you doing in here on the couch? Monkey in the sun.
Stop.
What's wrong with you? Damn.
Why did you turn your phone off?
I didn't turn it off.
Yes, you did. I've been calling you and texting you all night. You've been going straight to voicemail.
Yeah, that's probably why I died. You just kept blowing it up.
Are you serious right now? That's the best you can come up with? You're such a liar, man.
What the hell I gotta lie for? Yo, I just asked you to let me kick it for one night. Like, you couldn't even give me a break for one night.
Okay, Johnny, what I asked for
Again, if y'all identify any toxic traits that we spoke about, be sure to put it in the comment section.
was for you to check in. Like, if you were with your boys like you said you were, you would have answered the phone.
Yo, I just want one night without you thinking I'm doing wrong. Just one.
But you're always doing wrong, though. Like, don't act like you didn't make me this way.
Yo, I didn't make you this way. Your insecurities make you this way.
Okay, and you made me insecure.
Okay.
Like, it's 4 a.m., John. It's 4. The bar
Man.
closed at 2. It closed at 2. So where you been for the last 2 hours?
We went to get food, Zara.
Who's
Like,
we?
my friends, like, stop it. Like, you know who I be kicking it with. Look, if I'm gonna cheat on you, I'm just gonna go out and do it, period.
All right, you already did tonight. So that's literally nothing new.
Okay, so if I'm cheating on you and dogging you, then why are you still here?
Turning off your phone, acting like it died.
Wait, Sister Ruth, you says radio silence, but two of them are going back and forth. Again, be sure to turn up your volume on this because the clip is playing at a low decibel level, a low volume level. So you're gonna have to turn up the volume on your end to hear the clip of this movie properly. All right. So let me see just to make sure on my end that the volume is all right. Okay, good.
You were charging it before you left. You're such a liar.
Ain't nobody lying, man.
You are. I don't have to put up with this. I could literally.
Right there, y'all can see. Right? He tell a bold-faced lie. He tell a bold-faced lie. The scripture said, "Thou shalt not lie one to another." When it comes to persons in toxic relationships, toxic traits, this is a classic symptom right here. Just lying and being dishonest.
Go and have anybody that I want. You think I can't?
Then
But
go.
I can.
Then go get the nigga. Go right ahead. And guess
That's another one again, right? An ultimatum. So she's being toxic as well. Both of them are toxic. They're seething in their toxicity. She just threatened to leave by going to be with another Negro. And he was like, well, shoot, go ahead, do it. Go do it. Right? Toxicity at its finest.
what? He gonna get to see exactly what you like and what I'm dealing with, and he not gonna want to deal
What?
with you
And
at
he
all.
gonna cheat on me? He gonna cheat on me like you do?
What? Yo, I'm not cheating on you no more. But if I was, trust me, you gonna stay and you gonna cry. And you're not going nowhere. So just chill out. I don't even know why we arguing about this late. Like, leave me alone with this.
Now you see that? He said, you ain't going nowhere because he already know he have her in a manipulative cycle. You know, make her feel as low as possible, make her feel as low down as possible, make her feel as low about herself as possible. Because he already know, like, you ain't going nowhere because you already got self-esteem and insecurity issues because I've put you down. That's essentially what men in that position they do. So he's confident she ain't going nowhere, right?
Where are you going? We're not done talking about
Get
this.
off me, man.
Or what? Now I can't touch you?
Stop.
What are you
Stop.
gonna do?
Stop.
What are you gonna do?
Lord, stop.
What are you gonna
Stop playing with me, man. I told you to stop playing with me. Dang, man. Off me. Dang, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, this is another toxic trait again when couples get to that point where they're being physical aggression, and then immediately right after, what happens? Oh, it's like, they say I'm sorry and it's time to, makeups to breakup to makeups, right? It's a toxic behavior.
We weren't always like this. There was a time that we both pursued God together. We loved Him together, and we loved who we were together. We were happy. And then slowly, nothing meant more to us than the other person, and we allowed sin to creep in. And when sin creeps in, it ruins everything. It devours everything in its path, and eventually, it devoured us.
Who you over there texting this early?
My mama, why you open my phone?
You sure it ain't that new boyfriend you was talking about getting?
Why are you bringing up old stuff?
Oh, it's old now.
Yeah, it's old.
Okay, yeah,
We
all
back
right.
together.
So now what y'all notice? They in bed, they chilling, and they're seemingly having a good time, right? But let me tell you something. The toxicity has not disappeared. It's not. It's not worked on. They have not done the personal work to um, eradicate this toxicity that was plaguing the relationship. You understand?
Yeah, you see that video I posted to Grandpa earlier?
Let me see.
That's funny. Hold on, let me find it.
Where you get this cat from? Where you get this from? Where you found it on the street? What you looking for?
Y'all caught that? Y'all caught that just now? Let me run that back. Let me see if y'all caught that. Classic right there.
Okay, yeah,
We
all
back
right.
together.
Yeah, you see that video I posted to Grandpa earlier?
Let me see.
That's funny. Hold on, let me find it.
Where you get this cat from? Where you get this from? Where you found it on the street? What you looking for?
Oh, it says, "Hey baby." The text came up on the notification. "Hey baby, hope you have a good day." Wow, you see that? So now I know that she's. Let's see what happens.
Where you get this cat from?
Yeah.
Where you get this from?
You good?
That was funny.
Oh, temperature just changed just now.
Well, who was that texting you on your phone?
Probably just Mark. He told me he just got a new number.
Oh, okay. So Mark's gonna text you, "Hey, baby," on your phone.
Man, you know this dude be playing around all the time.
Playing? Don't nobody play with you like that. You think I'm stupid?
Nah, but all right. I mean,
Let me answer that for you, sis. Yeah, he think you stupid, but it's not that he think you stupid. He just thinking that he's gonna lie his way out of this, just as he's always lied his way out of it, and that you're gonna have to accept it. It's not that he thinking that you're gonna believe. He's thinking that you're gonna have to accept it. That's what top men who in that type of position. That's what they do.
Let
how am
me.
I supposed to know who it is? The number wouldn't say.
I just want to see. Then let me see. We'll find out. We'll call. Come
Here,
on.
here you go.
Here I go. Nothing. I want to see who was texting you on your phone.
But I had a nice day planned for us, and you about to ruin it over some petty text message.
How is it petty? I just want to see who was texting you this early.
Did I trip when you was texting earlier?
I was texting my mother.
That's fine, but I wasn't all hovered over you trying to verify who it is. Like, I get an unknown text message and you start tripping. Like, this is what I be talking about.
What you mean this is what you be talking about?
Like, you don't get it sometimes. It's like I'm talking to a wall. Like, just drop it. Like, let's leave it alone. I'm gonna just remove myself from the room and cool off.
No, John, who was that texting you? I want to see who's texting you. Let me see it.
No, bro, chill.
John, stop.
Hey, man, you don't give me my
Stop!
phone.
Get off of me!
It's my phone, man.
Let me see it.
No, bro.
What you protecting so hard in there, huh?
This is my phone.
And I pay the bill on it.
And?
You don't pay nothing around here. I don't know how you can even afford to cheat. You can't even keep a job.
That's real low, Z. Like, you know my situation. You know what? Let's leave it alone before I say something that's really gonna hurt your feelings.
Say what you want. I don't care.
Yeah, you do care. Who gonna want you? Who gonna want you? You lucky a man like me even give you the time of day. You was a bum when I met you. Didn't nobody want you. Nobody. And ain't nobody gonna want you when I'm gone. Watch.
How can you even say that? You've never even had a woman like me.
A woman like you? Really? You don't care about me the way you think you do. You don't listen to me. You don't pay attention to me. You barely act like I'm there. You just want to argue. So I go somewhere where someone actually appreciates and wants me there. You treat me like I'm nothing sometimes, so I'll treat you the same way. But I'm the stupid one because I stay and try to make it work. Like, I'm trying. But you hovering over me and nagging me about my every move, that's not helping me. Like, I'm not some little boy.
How can I treat you like you're nothing when I literally made you my everything?
You sure you got a funny way of showing it.
Are you serious right now? I do everything for you. Everything. I cook for you. I'm home every night. I give you my body when you want it. I barely see my friends and family. And you're telling me that's not enough? You have all of my time, John. All of it. And that's not enough. When will I be enough?
Man, I'm out.
Where are you going? John, you're really going to leave when it's like this?
I'm out.
John, stop. You're not leaving.
Move, Zara.
No. If you leave, it's over.
Man, move.
Stop, John. John knew how to get to me. He knew that his words hurt more than...
You hear that? He said, John knew how to get to me. This is what toxic relationships do. Persons who are narcissists, right? They know exactly which buttons to push. She was doing some of the same as well. They were going back and forth. You understand? The Bible says, don't go railing for railing, fam. Don't go railing for railing. You understand? I'm going to pull up that scripture afterwards. Let's continue.
anything physical ever could. His words would hit somewhere deep in me. It would connect to something in me that didn't find myself valuable or lovable. Yet somehow, the harsher the words, the more I wanted him to love me. Mom? Mom? Mama! Where are you?
Girl, can't you come all the way in the house and look for me first before you start screaming like there's a fire?
Mom, I'm sorry. I never let you yell.
You ain't sorry at all. Have a seat. Okay. How's mommy's princess doing?
I'm cool.
How's everything going at work?
It's going cool.
Oh, how's your writing going?
It's going cool.
How's John?
He's cool.
Say cool one more time. Say cool
Mom,
one more time.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was saying it so much. Jeez.
Yep. You tend to say that when you're trying to keep me out your business. What's going on? Talk to me.
I already know what you're going to say.
Try me.
Okay. So me and John got into a fight, but it's
Oh.
nothing serious. So just don't go tripping.
What makes you think I would trip?
Because that's what you do every time.
I just tell you the truth. And that's something you tend to not want to hear lately.
Here it goes.
I'm just worried about you, Z. That's all.
Worried? Why? You don't have nothing to be worried about. Couples argue all the time. Like you and daddy. You guys fight all the time. And guess what? You work it out.
Apples and oranges, baby. Don't compare the two. Your father and I are married.
Okay, but a relationship is a relationship, married or not.
But the difference here, honey, is that you can leave. You can leave without having to get a divorce. You can leave without having to go through custody battles. Your money's not all tied up, so you can just get your little self up and just walk away with nothing attaching him to you except memories. All I'm trying to do is get you to see the reality of what your situation is. Sometimes when we're blinded by what we think love is, we can't see the forest for the trees. You can't see what's right in front of you.
It wasn't always bad, Mom. It isn't always bad. I wouldn't be with him still if it was.
Oh, see? Is that all you guys got? That it wasn't always bad? The fact that you guys were healthy at one point? You holding on to the potential of what he could be one day.
God.
But he's not that today.
Mom. It wasn't always bad, Mom.
I just never saw this for you.
You know what you say? It wasn't always bad. It wasn't always bad. So things don't usually start off in a toxic way. Understand this. It develops, it progresses to that point. You understand? But like we mentioned earlier, flags, way. All right. There's no way you could actually see these things from the beginning, from the get go. You understand? There's no way. Because usually when you meet someone for the first time, you know, you haven't done the due diligence to really know this person. And that's why the Bible say, listen to me, men, don't go after a woman because of her looks. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be attracted to the woman, but don't let that be the sole thing that you go after. You understand that? Don't let that be the sole thing that you go after. Let me share a scripture really quickly. Um, Let me share my screen. Tobit 8 and verse 7. Tobit chapter 8, verse 7. And now, O Lord, I take not this, my sister, for lust, but uprightly. Therefore, mercifully ordain that we may become aged together. So, one of the reasons why um, couples don't age well together is because initially when y'all first met, initially when y'all first got together, it wasn't something that was wholesome. Y'all just, physically more attracted to each other, and that's all it was. A physical thing, just liking to see one another, and then getting together based off of that alone. That's not going to hold the relationship together. That's not going to hold when times get thick and things get tough. It's not. You understand that? It says, don't take a sister for lust. It says, take her uprightly, meaning that this is a sister that you know could be a good mother. This is a sister that you know you could do right by. This is a sister that you know you want to take care of and look after. She could raise your children the right way. You understand that? Not because she looked good on the gram, not because she looked good on Facebook, not because she looked cute and that's the reason why you want to be with her. That's a very superficial reason to want to be with somebody. You understand that? Let me share another scripture. No. Let's go to another another clip. Let's go to another clip. Let us go to another clip. All right. So now again, we're going to another clip. Y'all let me know what toxic traits y'all see coming out here. All right. What toxic traits y'all see coming out. So this is another clip. I'm not sure if you're going to have to turn your volumes up or not. You may have to because the clips sometimes they're very low. But turn up your volume if you have to. All right. Good. Let me put up my disclaimer because again, I don't own the copyrights to this movie. All right. Okay.
Babe. Babe, come on, we're gonna be freaking late.
Alright, give me an extra minute.
You were freaking hungover. Who the fuck is Tiff?
So you're going through my phone again.
I wouldn't if all these girls stopped texting you.
And that gives you a good reason to go through my phone? You know, are you gonna argue with me every time my phone goes off?
I'm gonna argue every time a girl texts you.
Now notice how we try to flip it back on her. He said, "Are you going to argue with me every time my phone goes off?" She said, "Well, I wouldn't have to argue with you if all these girls wasn't texting you." So it's just a classic manipulation technique that a lot of people do when they want to blame shift. You understand that? So I was asking in the comments, what toxic traits do y'all see coming out? So pay close attention. When you see a toxic trait that you could identify, point it out, write it in the comment section.
No, not only did she text you, she called you too. Alright, so what's happening? Are you hiding something from me?
I'm not hiding anything from you. Oh God, here you go always assuming shit.
Oh, I'm the one that's assuming shit. Don't even try to bring this shit back on me, alright? I'm your girlfriend. I have the right to know. So tell me, who the fuck is this chick? You always have to have some chick talking to you. Andrew, am I seriously not enough for you?
Oh my God.
Am I, Andrew? Who the fuck is this bitch?
Look, she's just a friend. Friend.
Yo, women, anytime you hear that line and it's mixed with other things like shady texts, wild activities coming from him, just know what it is.
The guys went out last night and she was there. She got drunk. I paid her cab ride home. Why you always tripping for?
Babe, please don't ignore me. Okay, I get it. I was being stupid. I just didn't know who the hell she was. I'm sorry. I was insecure and
See that? His toxicity made her feel what? Insecure, bad about herself, low down, degraded. So now she's making what? Excuses. And look what she said. She said, I'm sorry, it was my fault. You understand that? So now she's accepting the fault and the blame for what she knew something inside of her was off. It was wrong, right?
unreasonable. Just please don't ignore me.
Oh, oh, oh. And the moral of the story is this: toxicity doesn't just go away. You understand that? If it's not dealt with, if it's not properly dealt with, y'all got to be able to get professional help. Please get help, get counseling. You understand that? This is a scripture that I often share a lot of times. I'm going to share it again. It says, it says, Ecclesiasticus 6 and verse 7, if thou would get us a friend, prove him first. So one of the reasons why persons end up in a toxic relationship without even seeing it from afar is because you didn't prove that person first. It takes at least a year minimum to prove someone. And that's why when you end up in these toxic relationships, you're going to be trying to figure out, how did I get here? Right? How did I get here? You didn't see it. You understand that? So now you got to prove a friend first and don't be hasty to credit them. When it means don't be hasty to credit them, don't be hasty to say, oh, yeah, we together. Oh, yeah, I'm a man. Oh, yeah. Like, nah, you got to prove that person. Because according to the Bible, once you lay with that person, that's your husband, that's your wife. And now you trapped. You trapped. Now they got you in a manipulative cycle and you ain't going nowhere. You understand that? So you got to be able to get help. You got to be able to get professional counseling, especially if you're already in a very manipulative relationship already. You already, in a toxic relationship. You got to get help, professional help. You understand that? Let me pull this up really quickly. Give me 1 second. Uh, Let me get the book of Proverbs 11 and 14. Proverbs 11 and 14. You got to get counseling. Where no counsel is, the people is safety. So don't think that you have within yourself the self. You ain't authorized to do that. You ain't authorized with the knowledge and the wisdom and the capacity to counselors trained to do that. You understand that? Who's trained with that specific information and the scriptures to be able to give you that proper counsel. So it says, where no counsel is, the people fall. In other words, where no counsel is, the relationship gonna fall. Where no counsel is, they're gonna have a toxic relationship. With no counsel is, you're going to have a very manipulative relationship. It could just go all the way down the drain. Like we said, don't always start out, toxic. They start out very nice, very loving, well, seemingly loving, because at that point you don't understand the dynamics of marriage. You don't understand the dynamics of how marriage is supposed to work. So you equate, going out to eat and going out to the pool and going out here and there. You equate that to love. You equate, laughing to love. You equate smiling and having a good conversation. You equate that to love, right? And that's not the meat and potatoes, and that's not the crux of what the relationship is. So it says where no counsel is, the people fall. So your relationship is bound to take a serious nosedive if you don't get good counseling, because even the Apostle Paul said there's going to be trouble in the flesh. Again, there's going to be trouble in the flesh. Let's get that. Trouble in the flesh, right? 1 Corinthians 7, right? You're going to have trouble in the flesh. Look at this. Look at right here, 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 28. It says, but, and if thou marry, so if you get married, watch this, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. So yes, you're going to have trouble in the flesh. Having an argument doesn't mean it's a sign or it's indicative of a bad relationship. There are good arguments, there are constructive arguments, there are negative arguments, right? There's non-productive and there's destructive arguments, right? That's not the type of arguments that you need to be having with your significant other. You need to be having constructive arguments, meaning it's a dialogue. Argument just means presenting points. But when you have a negative dialogue, now you're attacking the person. Now you're attacking their character. Now you're attacking that person individually, and you're bringing them down on a level where you're trying to, degrade them, demoralize them, call them out their name, right? But the Bible says you're going to have trouble in the flesh, meaning that all relationships are prone to problems. Having problems in the relationship is not a bad thing. The problems help you get stronger. The problems help you to overcome. But here's the problem: because you may be dealing with a toxic individual, they don't know how to self-examine. They don't know how to deal with the situation. So they need counseling, because all marriages, all relationships, they're going to face trouble. Look at right here. It says, nevertheless, right? Such shall have trouble in the flesh, meaning that all marriages are prone to problems. So problems in the marriage isn't a bad thing. You just have to understand the dynamics of marriage. And then whenever the problems come, you're able to overcome those things. You understand that? All praises to the Most High. So, where we at? So you got to communicate. You got to communicate. Now you see how the video clip that we just watched, where it ended, and his phone started ringing again. So toxicity doesn't just disappear. Toxicity just goes away. If communication isn't worked on, if counseling isn't adhered to, right? If working on each other and yourselves individually isn't adhered to, the relationship will continue to deteriorate, where it falls through and complete breakdown of the marriage. So please get help, get counseling. You understand that? For those of you who need counseling, I'm available. If you need help concerning your marriage and your situation, and you're in a toxic situation, reach out to me. All right, I can give you the requisite counsel and scriptures that you need, so that you could get your marriage back where it needs to be. Or if you're a toxic person and you want to know how to get over your toxicity, you want to know how to really heal from the toxic behaviors and traits that you have as a person, reach out. We can give you the tools that you need, that you can, self heal. All right, so you could self heal. So please get help. Please get counseling. All praises. So now, where we at? moving on really quickly. For those of you that not familiar with the rapper Takeoff, he's a rapper from the well, he was a rapper from the group Migos. There's a rap group called Migos. He was a part of that group. He got shot and killed. When was it? It was yesterday. Let me pull up the. Let's pull up the article so we could see what happened exactly. All right, we can see what happened. All right, let me share my screen. Let me share screen. Oh, I actually had it up already. Okay, cool. I had it up. All right. So Migos rapper Takeoff killed by stray bullet, record label claims. They said they claim, right? They claim. Stray bullet, they claim. Let me so they say the 28-year-old Grammy-nominated musician died on Tuesday in a shooting at a bowling alley in Houston, Texas. Paying tribute, his record label said in a statement, "Senseless violence and a stray bullet has taken another life from this world, and we are devastated." Houston Police Chief Troy Finner said that he did not want to speculate on whether Takeoff was the target. So right now we can't speculate, even though there are key eyewitnesses that's coming forth right now saying that they were either there and this is what happened, blase, blase, blah, XYZ, right? So now, right, I agree with the police chief. You don't want to speculate. You want to be able to prove all things. So, but whether or not he was a target or not, we know in the Most High's eyes, everything is on target. Everything is of the Most High. It says, let me see. He added, based on what people say about him, he's well respected and non-violent. But let me tell y'all something. You don't have to be violent or not respected when it comes to the Most High putting you to death. The Most High is not respecter of persons. You understand? He's no respecter of persons when it comes to judgment. See that? That's Acts 10 and verse 34. All right, Acts 10 and verse 34. Let me put that in the comments for y'all. As a matter of fact, let me highlight that. Let me highlight that. Acts 10 and 34. All right. See that? God is no respecter of persons. See that? God is no respecter of persons. So it don't matter who you are, you can get it. And the Most High sending out judgment, you can get it. So he says, based on what people say about him, he's well respected. He's non-violent. They said, I wouldn't expect him to be involved, but I do not want to wait on the investigation. But we have no reason to believe that he was involved in anything criminal at the time, just as people describe him as very peaceful, loving, a great entertainer. My point is this, man. If you're not serving the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, just count your days, man. Count your days are numbered. Count your days are numbered. The Most High said he kill and he make alive. You understand that? He kill and he make alive. So let's say so tributes to Migos rapper Takeoff. Shot dead at 28. So I guess they're gonna be doing some tributes to him. Now, really and truly, you know, we should really be tributing the Most High. That's what we should be tributing and tributing his works. That's who we should be tributing. You understand? But instead, we don't learn. We don't learn. These are the curses still happening to us. We still don't want to do the Most High's commandments. We still don't want to do his laws. We still don't want to repent. And I'm trying to figure out how many of us the Most High got to kill in order for us to actually get the message. How many of us the Most High actually got to put to death in order for us to really get the message that you're really supposed to be out here repenting. You're really supposed to be out here changing your life and doing these commandments. But no, you don't want to do that. Look, he wasn't even, from what I understand, the target of you know the confusion that was happening at the place. You understand that? So yeah, take off, shot dead, 28 years old. Now, one thing that I wanted to highlight is this. Let's go to his Instagram page. Let's go to his Instagram page. Shall we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to his Instagram. Well, y'all see he posted. So he posted a video, right? Posted a video and he said, messy video. Oh no. And he hashtagged happy Halloween. It's interesting to note that he died on Halloween, right? But interesting not because of, the date, but interesting because a lot of you niggas out here like celebrating pagan holidays. And then when the Most High put y'all asses to death, then y'all trying to figure out and wonder why this had to happen to this brother or that brother, or why it had to happen to me, right? But a lot of y'all Negroes out there love celebrating the white man's holidays. A lot of y'all Negroes out there just love your oppressors' holidays. I can't even call them holidays. You love celebrating them holidays. And then when now the Most High put either you or your family members to death, right? Oh, now you're trying to figure out why them, why you, why whoever is connected to you. Why did this happen to them, right? So I found it, just ironic that he put up Happy Halloween, which is, for those of you that don't know, is an evil pagan, you know, day that the heathens, they made that day. The origin of Halloween really came from worshiping spirits and worshiping evil spirits. And it's the Day of the Dead, the Day of the Walking Dead. And people dress up. And listen, that's some occultic stuff. The most I said, do not mess with that stuff. But you all here talking about Happy Halloween. And some of y'all bigging up people that dressing up in costumes, talking about, yeah, that costume was lit. That means you're supporting Halloween, man. And if you're supporting Halloween, right, understand you on the Most High's hit list as well. You understand that? You on the hit list as well. You understand that? So, yeah, man, we just want to give our praises to the Most High for really just, exposing that, you know. All praises, man. All praises. So, just wanted to basically highlight that. You understand that? Just wanted to highlight that. We know. We know what it is. Celebrating Halloween is not something that you should be doing. You understand that? It's not something you should be doing at all. You understand? So another thing I wanted to highlight really quickly. Well, let me just go to this clip really quickly. Let me go to this clip because there's one young lady that said she was right there when it happened. She was right there when it happened. So let me share this really quickly. Okay, good. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Really quick, and I'm gonna try not to give out my identity. We were all there when all this happened. I just left from HPD. First of all, in order to be around Jazz Prince, you have to be searched. None of us had guns, but Jazz people had guns. Okay. All of this about this was over a dice game. This shit started in Fifth Ward around 9:30, 10 last night. So
Oh,
this had nothing to do with no damn dice game, with no money situation or anything like that. And the only reason why I'm not going to great details because I live in Houston and the Prince family know me. But all of this shit that they're saying about, oh, well, this was a sacrifice. No, this was a argument between two camps, and it wasn't even between two camps because Takeoff and Quavo was basically trying to be the mediator between the people who were arguing. The
oh shit.
and so everybody's saying, "Oh, well, this is Quavo fault." Quavo had nothing to do with the shit y'all talking about, bro. Y'all was not there when this happened. It had nothing to do with that. So all these 30 seconds videos that they're seeing, this and that, everybody's saying, "Well, he didn't act the way how he act whenever Takeoff got shot." Did they tell you he passed the fuck out? Did they tell you we had to help him to the fucking car? Did they tell you that? Like nobody is really talking about the real that's going on. But I'm gonna tell you this, and I'll leave it at that. The only people who had firearms that night was the camp who protect Jazz. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, Ashley.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Yes, sir. So, she said she was there. And, you know, like I said, it doesn't really matter the reason why it happened. We know that based on the Most High God, we know that He's the one that kills and He makes alive. Let's get that in the book of Deuteronomy. Let's get in the book of Deuteronomy. Let me know if y'all can see. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 39, it says, "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither there is any that can deliver out of my hand." You understand? So the Most High said He kills and He makes alive. So it doesn't matter the reason what, if He was there, if He had something to do with it or not. The Most High is the one that's killing. So y'all should really take that into consideration, that the Most High is the one that is killing. You understand that? So, another picture I wanted to share with you guys really quickly. Another picture I wanted to share with you guys really quickly is this picture right here. Tell me what y'all notice about this picture right here. All right? What do y'all notice about this picture right here? What do y'all notice about this? Who's this over here? Y'all see that, right? That's Takeoff right there. You understand that? Who is this lady? Now, her name is Michelle Lamy. Okay, Michelle Lamy. All right. Now, this woman, as you can see, she looked like a witch, right? As a matter of fact, personally, this is just my opinion, me speaking as a man. I think she dabbles in the occult. I think she's a witch. I think she has that witch energy, right? Her name is Michelle Lamy. Let's bring her up real quick. Her name is Michelle Lamy. Michelle Lamy. Now let me increase this. So Michelle Lamy, as y'all can see right here, uh, they say she's famous for being a French culture and fashion figure. She has been a clothing designer, performer, film producer, and restaurateur, and is the life partner of Rick Owens. And she's a co-founding partner of Owens Corp and functions as the executive manager of art and furniture. So now, as y'all can see, man, she on that witch vibes. You can see she looked like a straight up witch right there. You understand? Um, this is crazy right here. This is, well, mind you, he was in it. No, I don't like. He was in a picture. Him and his amigos, his buddies, his partners was in this picture with Michelle Lamy, right? Was in that picture with Michelle Lamy. Okay, at this I think it was the Met Gala, right? And yo, man, listen, man, you got to be careful around at the energy that's around you, man. You got to be careful at the energy that's around you. When you're around these people that's in the occult and that's doing all this, drinking blood out of animal skulls, heads, and doing all this weird ritual stuff. Understand what the scriptures say concerning that, right? It says, have nothing to do with the works of darkness, but rather reprove, right? But rather reprove. That's Ephesians 5 and verse 11. Let's get that. Ephesians 5 and verse 11. Ephesians 5 and verse 11. Now it says, let me see if y'all can see that properly. Ephesians 5 and verse 11, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. You understand that? So it says also in the book of Exodus, suffer not a witch to live. You understand that? Suffer not a witch to live. It says, Exodus 22 and verse 18, so, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. You understand that? Mess with people that doing divination. Let me see where that at. Look at this. Deuteronomy 18 and verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination. Divination is talking about witchcraft, obeah, black magic, all right? Or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. You understand that? So stay away from stuff like that. You understand? But really and truly, if you out there celebrating Halloween, you out there, bigging up things to do with Halloween, you on the Most High's hit list. You understand that? One sister says, out of all of them, he looks the most uncomfortable in that photo. He probably is under those shades, for real. He probably is. He probably is. Let me pull up that picture again. He probably is. You understand that? He's probably the most uncomfortable. And look how everybody said he was so quiet, he was so peaceful, he was so lovable, he was just so, but the Most High don't care about none of that. You understand that? The Most High don't care about that. Is either you keeping the commandments or not. If you're not keeping the commandments, then you have a date with death. You understand that? You have a date with death. You understand? So, y'all got any questions, man? You got any questions? Any questions? Any questions before we close out? Any questions? Any questions? Because we're about to close it out, man. The most I say, he's no respecter of persons when it comes to judgment. So it don't matter if it's your auntie, your mama, your cousin, your sister. You know what I'm saying? Take off. It don't matter. As a matter of fact, before we close out, we got one more article that we got there. That says Davido. Davido's is it his son or his daughter? I'm not certain. I'm trying to pull it up. Trying to pull it up. Let me see. Yeah, it was his son. It was his son. Okay. So let me see if I can find the article. Don't know if y'all know about Davido, but why is it? I'm supposed to open this and see the first thing supposed to be the article. It's not coming up. Good. Davido. So Davido's 3-year-old son died. All right. Let's get that. Davido's 3-year-old son died. It says police questioned the nanny of Nigerian music star Davido following death of his 3-year-old son. So the Most High on a killing spree right now, man. So I'm letting this be known right now. Like y'all, whoever listening to this, y'all better repent, keep the commandments, because the Most High not playing out here. You understand that? So police are questioning the nanny employed by Nigerian music star Davido following the death of his 3-year-old son on Halloween. So I ain't even gonna read no more, man, because y'all know y'all ain't supposed to be out here celebrating no Halloween anyway. You understand? Y'all heard about the stampede that happened? Tell me y'all heard about the stampede that happened. Where was it? Was it in China? Where was it? Let me see. Where was it? Stampede on Halloween. Where was it? It was in Seoul. Seoul. All right. It was in Seoul. Let me see. Most not playing out here, man. So I'm trying to tell y'all. Most is not playing out here. Where is that at? Okay, so it says survivors recount chaotic scene in Seoul during a tragic Halloween stampede. So y'all out here celebrating Halloween, the most out here killing on Halloween. You understand that? So when y'all gonna learn, man? Put away the occultic things, put away the things that are of darkness, keep the Most High's commandments, and live, man. That's what it is right there. It says, in the hours since devastating crowd surge in South Korea's capital claimed the lives of more than 150 people, details have begun to emerge that emphasize just how chaotic the scene was. So it was a chaotic scene, stampede, 150 people died on Halloween. Whether they were celebrating Halloween or not, I'm not, absolutely sure on that. Um, but this is what it is, man. The most y'all over here celebrating Halloween, the most over here killing on Halloween. That's what it is. So, do y'all got any questions? If y'all have questions, we're gonna sign it out now. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I want to thank you guys for joining us on the Wednesday night heat. Looking forward to seeing each and every one of you on the Sabbath day, this Sabbath day. Another powerful class lined up, guys. All praises to the Most High. So, all praises to the Most High. This is your Messiah. We are out.